Smai pawb, sida chi? Hello everyone. I've started and I can't speak already. Hello everyone. How are we all? Finally you're saying you're going to do something with the Humble Home Bundle. I am. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but it's taken an age to get hold of this. Now, a word to the wise. When you're buying things like this online, do check the sizes, because I thought I was buying two of this size, which are, this is 1 ounce by volume, so that's about 30 millilitres. 30 grams, hang on, what are these? Mil. I thought I was buying two of these, of this size. Turns out I was buying two of these, which are half the size. And they cost £6.50 each. £6.50. Now that, I would expect that to be that sort of price. But that, I was very disappointed when it arrived. Well, I was disappointed because A, they were small, but on the other hand, I was chuffed to bits because I finally got some. Because as you can see, it's a very different sort of white. This is seafoam white, which really isn't white at all. It's cream, I would say, whereas this is opaque bright white. But when I get some more of this, I'm going to make sure I get better value for money, and get larger tubs. But anyway, I have finally got some, so I've been able to do a bit. So I've done some bits that I've already done previously, and then I'm going to be doing some heat embossing on camera for you. So first of all, let's go with the stamp set. So we've got the Humble Home. I'm sorry about if the light's a bit grotty. It's about 4:30 now, so it's quite dark outside. I've got the main light on up there, and then I've got one of these what do you call them, one of those extra lights you get for people with SAD, which I can get in the winter, so I hope the light's okay. Anyway, it's a photopolymer stamp set, and I've already taken the stamps off the bit of plastic that it comes on and stuck them to the back where they've got the outlines of all the pictures and the words and whatnot. You'll notice some are missing because that's the ones I'm going to be using in a minute. So I will show you at the end the other bits that I've made, but you get a house outline with bricks, you get the gingerbready bit, you get a door and 2 windows, you get some wording which is thank you for coming, Merry Christmas, welcome, a tiny little home for the sweet gift, from our house to yours, and a little to and a from. You get a small wreath, it's probably better to show you on here. You get a small wreath, the house, the bricks, a roof, eaves I'm assuming that is, and a heart as well. You have to excuse me, I've still got a bit of a cough. And poor Kevin spent most of last night coughing and could barely speak this morning. So he's still got a sore throat, so he's been gargling with soluble Disprin or aspirin. And then with it you get the punch, which punches out the house, also punches out a square which, if you stamp out the front door and the 2 windows, you can punch out the windows because they will fit into that there. But if you want to have the door, you'd have to do that. You'd have to fussy cut that, but that's quite simple because it's not perfectly straight, but it doesn't need to be. But yeah, you'd need to cut that out, whereas you could punch those out. And there's also a tiny little heart, which I've seen some people using as smoke coming out of the chimney of the house, which I thought was quite clever. Now, I don't think I'm actually going to be needing this punch for what I'm going to do next, so I can put that over here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a couple of gift tags. Now, I've got this craft card that I've had for ages. Don't know, not even sure where I got it from. I might have got it from the local craft shop. might have had it already before we moved here, so somewhere in Sussex, who knows. Anyway, it's the whole width of an A4 sheet of card. Obviously it doesn't have to be craft card, it can be any card, but I particularly wanted this because of the gingerbread aspect. So I made sure it was the right width. In fact, I might have cut it a little bit too narrow, not too narrow, but a little bit narrower than I needed to go in one of these tag topper punches. Now I've got two. I've got this one, which is just called a tag topper, and then this one, which is the elegant edge tag topper, which does this fancy schmancy sort of cut, but I don't want that one today. I'm going to use this one. So what I will do, before I do anything else, put them the right way round. So drop that down into the centre. Yeah, I could have made this a little bit wider, but that's fine. So I do that end, and then I turn it round, centre that bit up, and do that end. Get all the bits off, chuck them in the bin because they're not much use to anybody, and close that back up. That's the good thing about these Stampin' Up ones, is as long as you don't drop them and break this, she says, having done that to two of my punches, they close up again, so they take up less space. So when they're open, they take up that much space, but when they're closed, they take up that much space. So they're easier to put in the not container, the storage shelves I've got for them. Right, now I've got that, I actually need to measure that because I've forgotten. Shush phone. I lose a bit when I actually punch that. So that takes it to 20.5, so 10.25. So then all I need to do is cut that in half, and I've got two tags. So 10.25, about there I think. Might not be perfectly symmetrical. I've turned my phone upside down and it shouldn't make all that noise, but I'm going to ignore it. But yeah, it's not quite symmetrical, as you can see from the little hole. If I do that, they're symmetrical, but if I push the bottoms together, but it doesn't matter because they're going to be on different presents. So, and with this craft card, I can't work out which is the best side, so I think whatever side I decide on is going to be the best side. So I want the gingerbread house stamp. I also have decided at the last minute, just as I was turning the camera on, I thought I'll stamp From Our House to Yours on one of them, and I'm going to do that heat embossed as well. And the other one, I'm just going to use the little Merry Christmas, but I'm going to heat emboss that as well. So I've got my Versamark ink pad. I've got my little, oh, what's it called? Embossing buddy, I think it's called. It's a little like cheesecloth thing. I think it's got talcum powder in it or something like that. Anyway, just go over that to make sure that I haven't left any sticky fingerprints behind, and to help the heat embossing. I must find something better to keep it in than the plastic bag that it came in. Right, so right, here we go. So I'm going to stamp the gingerbread house on both of these right at the bottom. Now, am I in camera? Yes, I am. There we go, and then that one as well. I hope that's gone okay. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't. Okay. Give that a good press down, and then quickly wipe that on my chamois, which I know looks disgusting, but that's fine, it works, that's the main thing. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp From Our House to Yours on this one. Nice and centred. Lovely. And then Merry Christmas on the other one. Ooh, I haven't got my head in there, so I thought my head might be in shot there. I think I might just have done that a bit with skew. Nah, doesn't matter. It's not too bad. Okay, so put those over there out the way. Put the lid on that. Right, now comes the fun bit and also the noisy bit. Where have I put my thing? So here's my little Stampin' Up tray, and here's my embossing powders. Okay, so I'm just going to pour this over like that, tap it off, give it a bit of a flick. Not sure if that Merry Christmas came out as well as I'd hoped, but yeah, I think that'll be okay. And then this one, a lot of people that I've seen doing heat embossing on other videos, they have like a quite large Tupperware style tub that's about, oh where's the camera, about that full of embossing powder. That's a lot of embossing powder, and then they just sort of dip it into the tub and take it out again, which is probably a good idea, but then it's going to take up quite a bit of space. Just put a bit more over that, just to, but I think that's okay actually. Tap, 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 tap. Couple of flicks. Right, now I'm not going to endeavour to get my powder back into my tub on camera, so I will put this safely, she says, looking for somewhere safe to put it, where it's not going to get tipped over. Oh, here, over the other side of my big shot. Right, there we go. Now, this is going to be the noisy bit, so I apologise for this. And I need my ceramic tweezers, which were part of the pack that came with the tray that I've done the embossing in, this embossing buddy thing, this, and it came with something else, and I can't think for the life of me what it was. But anyway, let's get on with this. Sorry about the noise for a bit. There you go. Now, I think this one I slightly overheated, and as you can see, this one, it's gone very white, and you can't really see, but it's gone slightly glossy. This one I think I've overheated, and it sort of goes from glossy to being a bit nah. So either that or I haven't done it long enough. No, I think I've overdone it, because it did go shiny and then bits of it have gone nah. So there we go. It is a while since I've done heat embossing, apart from the few bits that I've done recently. So that really is it. Now what I could do, I have got, where have I put them? I've got these lovely red and white adhesive back peppermint stickers. Well, they're sort of like little buttons. Teeny tiny ones, slightly larger ones, and then slightly larger ones again. Now I might not. I could put one on top of the white heart there, but I think I'll leave that as it is. So there we are. That's quite simple and straightforward, from our house to yours, and a little gingerbread house. Now, some of the other ones that I'm going to show you, I did using crumb cake cardstock, which I think probably in the long run is not quite dark enough. So this is crumb cake as opposed to the craft, and looking at what other people have done, and in fact that doesn't show much difference at all, but in real life that is a lot darker than that. What some people have been using was pecan pie. Oh, shut up, phone. Which is sort of in between those two shades, really. Actually, it looks better. You can see the colour difference slightly better there. But anyway, I got lots of crumb cake. I haven't got any pecan pie. So the other thing I'm going to do for you is to make a little favours type box that you could put on the Christmas table come Christmas time. So what I've got is, I've got a square of 9 centimetres by 9 centimetres. If you want to do this in imperial, you can do it 3 inches by 3 inches. It comes up a tad smaller, but it's not, you know, that noticeable. So I scored it at 3 centimetres and 6 centimetres, turned it round and scored it at 3 centimetres and 6 centimetres, because it's easier that way. If you're doing the inches, it's 1 inch and 2 inches. Then what I've done is cut up there, and then just done a little wedge shape there, cut up there and done a wedge shape there. So I'll show you here. So I just cut up there on the line that I've scored, and then just do a little wedge shape there just to get rid of that, and then that gives you your little box. Et voila. So I'll just stick that together, and then you can see how it all pans out. Right, where's my sticky tape? Now, I've already forgotten the name of the lady who did this on a video, but I've put a link in the description box as to who she is, because her name will not come to me. Should have written it down and put it on a piece of paper right in front of me, but I didn't. So you just put glue on the 4 outer bits, and then just turn them in like that. Pinch that together. There we go. Simple as that. And then I've got 2 which I've already done. I punched out, well, I stamped, embossed, and then punched out using the punch. And then one of those will go either side like that. So just need to glue within the house bit. Obviously you can use liquid glue if you prefer. I don't prefer because I get in a right old muddle with liquid glue. So this isn't quite as wide as the house itself, but that doesn't matter. I mean, you can make it wider if you want to. Okay, and then there. And there you go, you've got a little box which you can fit. This is the one I did 3x3, so as you can see, it is well, actually it's quite a bit smaller. But yeah, I think 9cm squares is much better. And I got some of these sweet chocolates from Aldi. I was supposed to be doing a crafternoon session last Saturday. Yes, when you see this it will be last Saturday, and it was already last Saturday, but I had to cancel it at the moment, and I bought these chocolates for us all to nibble on while we were there. But yeah, I had to cancel on the Friday because the new heating at church wasn't working. But thankfully it was working by Sunday. So there you go, you can put a couple of those in, or you could probably can you get a Ferrero Rocher in there? Probably, or one of those Lindt round ones, or a couple of Maltesers, whatever you like really. I mean, you could put grapes in if you fancied, but they'd be a nice little favour to sit on your Christmas dinner table. So that's that. Obviously I'm not going to do anything with that other one because that's gone a bit meh, so that can go in the recycling. Now this other thing, that bit that I'm going to do is, I'm only going to do one, but I'm obviously at some point I'm going to have to do the rest. I have got a string of these lights. I think these are amazing because they're so small. They're gorgeous. You get 20 lights on a string, and they're only, I don't know, a couple of quid. And I saw another lady whose name also escapes me, but I will link her YouTube, video down in the description. And she made, these lights. Well, she didn't make the lights, she made these to decorate the lights. So you stick those in there and they light up, and it's lovely. So what I did was, again using the craft card, I did one in the craft card and embossed it, and then painstakingly cut out the little door bit, because obviously you need that to be open so that you can put a piece of vellum behind. So I cut out a piece of vellum with the punch, and then I cut out another piece with the punch, which has actually got some writing on the back, but it doesn't matter because you won't see it once it's stuck to the back of this. So this is what we do. The first thing we do is stick the vellum to the back of the house at the front, so I will do that first. So I will put glue all the way up there and across there and over there. And then you need to line this up quite carefully. Shall I move you down a bit? It seems a very long way away today. So you line that up so that that goes behind there like that. Lovely. So you've now got the vellum behind there. Now she also put one of these on, which I will do now while I think about it. Or will I put it on afterwards? No, I'll do it now. She stuck that about there. And then I need some ordinary sellotape. and the backing piece. So you want to get the light so that it's about a third of the way, just so it comes just under where the chimney meets the roof. It's probably the best place to put it. And then I need a little bit of tape. Just to stick that down there, and then a little bit of tape to stick this down there. And I'm just going to clip that little bit there that's sticking over, because we don't want that sticking out. If I can do it, yeah, do it that way around. There we go. Lovely. So literally just sellotape the light to the back. Then I need some here we go, some dimensionals. Let's get these ones. I've got lots of odds and ends I could use, but I think I'll just use ordinary ones for now. So I'm going to put one at the top, and then one each side near the bottom. Because you don't want one in the middle where it's going to be seen. So when I stick that down in a minute, that will go on there. So let's stick this together, and then I'll switch it on, and you'll see how lovely it is. Now I have got a plethora of these. I must have bought 20 or so, I think, maybe 10. Maybe I bought 10 last year. Now, have I taken the thing off? Yes, I have. With the idea of giving them to people as gifts. So I did give some of them to people as gifts. In fact, I can probably show you what I did with those. Maybe another time, because it means rummaging for boxes and bags. Okay, so line it up. So that's then stuck to that, but then there's a little gap in the middle. And then when you switch it on, you get a lovely, oh, no, you can't tell because of all the lights I've got on. So let me turn these lights off, because it's dark. Ooh, pretty. You see, you get a lovely little glow through the door. In fact, you can just about see it through there, but yeah, that will look lovely when they've all been done. Oh, let me put the light back on again. Very dark now. Whew, I don't think I'll bother putting the other light back on. So yeah, so now I have to go and make another 19 of those. And the worst bit, as I said, is cutting out the door bit, because that is fiddly. I've used a craft knife. I've got this set of craft knives that I've probably had. I'm fairly sure I bought these in 2003 or 2004, so that means they're 20 years old. Kevin uses them mostly because they were sat in a cupboard for years and years and years, and I thought, I don't know, I don't use them, so I gave them to Kevin. And then I've had to borrow them back again. So what have I done? I've done my Christmas lights, my Christmas table favour box, and a gift tag. Now I've also done a couple of cards. This one I stamped, no I didn't, I punched out the house using paper from the, what's it called, Take to the Skies. So it's the back of the green aeroplane one, and it's, I think it's supposed to look like lots of riveted metal. I would have preferred to have done it on something that looked like wood, but I don't have any papers at all that have anything like that on the back. So I cut that out with the punch, Then I stamped the eaves and the chimney bit on top, and then the door and the 2 windows, because that comes as one stamp. And then separately I did the wreath, cut that out because there's no die for that or anything, so fussy cut that out, and then just used my water painter, and I just picked up colour from Granny Apple Green for the wreath and Real Red for the ribbon. And then the heart, that's in the stamp set as well, that's Real Red, and I stamped it off twice on a piece of paper before putting it on there. And then I did the From Our House to Yours in the same colour as the roof, which is pecan pie. So that's that. And then the other one I did, I stamped the whole of the card with a retired stamp now, which I think is just called Candy Cane. And of course I haven't got it to hand because it's still in the box of all the things that I was going to be using on Saturday for my crafternoon. I also cut out, or used my die cutter with the Spotlight on Nature dies to do this background, which I thought was Real Red, but actually looking at it I think that's probably Poppy Parade, and then white, and then I stamped this onto that paper with no, that's pecan pie as well, I think. Yeah, because it doesn't look dark enough for early espresso. And then I put one of those tiny little sweeties in the middle there. I'm sure I did something else, but I cannot for the life of me find it. And I can't think what it was. Maybe I didn't. So, yes, so that is finally, and I know it probably wasn't worth waiting for, but I finally got round to doing the Humble Home bundle. Now, the other thing that arrived in the post this week was the new mini catalogue for January to April. And as you can see, I've written my copy over the front, and also the Celebration, which is the free stuff that you can get if you order. They've put it up, it used to be £45, I used to get free stuff, and now it's £55. I can't show you the inside of either of these yet, but I have put a bit of an order in, and I will be able to show you the things that I've got from here and from here. And that's due very shortly, so hopefully that should be next week's video. And I should probably have a bit more time. Next Saturday I'm going on a wreath making workshop. I tend to go on one every year to make one. This one's raising money for charity for the local hospice, because quite a lot of people I know have had to go there since we moved here, so I like to support that. So I should be making a wreath, and I might be able to show you a picture of it next time. Not sure how to get that into the video, but there we are. So finally I have done what I said I was going to do probably 2 months ago, but we made it in the end. So I think that's me for now, before my voice gives out completely again. Hwyl am y tro.